What if everything works out? What if the job you want, the dreams you have, the relationships you desire are all ready here for you? And it's really just a matter of changing that perspective, flipping the script, and remembering what is possible. In this video, I want to show you a simple shift that is going to get you out of that survival mode and into that excitement, that joy, and living from that pure potential that you know exists. You know there is a part of you right now that is looking for this information, looking out to find a way out of this survival mode, out of this protective energy that keeps wanting you to fight for things, to make decisions out of fear. And we're going to come out of that throughout this video and start to align into what is truly here for us right now, so that we can start living from our heart's desire and living from that eternal truth of knowing that what we dream of, what we feel, what we want to experience is for us. Because here's where most people trip up. They start to feel the fear, and the protection mode comes up where they want to look for solutions, try and do things that they think will protect them from things going wrong, for the dreams being broken, for the judgments that could come, for the failures that tumble upon them. And this is where you are getting lost in the truth of who you are. So instead, we ignore the risks, we ignore the challenges, we ignore the discomfort of moving towards what we desire, because we are too busy thinking about the solutions to what could go wrong before we've even had anything go wrong. And what tends to happen? Things start to go wrong, right? You start to notice that the difficulties do come and you have to try and face them. You then are in a job that you don't like because you didn't take the risk. The relationship didn't come because you didn't feel safe enough to go longer and look for that right person. Or maybe you've been in a relationship that hasn't been serving you for a long time because you're too scared to break that off and be in a journey of your own until you find that right person that resonates with the embodiment of your true self. We have to sometimes take those risks. We have to sometimes be through that challenge, that discomfort. Because in that space, if we are excited, if we are playful about it, it becomes easier, right? If we go from a place of scared, uncertainty, seriousness as well, taking it so seriously, like it's life or death, this is what I've got to do, we completely miss all the joy and the excitement on the journey. We miss laughing at ourselves when we do make mistakes, to find ourselves to be just playing in this world, in this journey of life, rather than trying to construct things from a place of needing to having that causes this constraint. We sometimes have such a strong idealization of what we want that we're scared to do anything because if it doesn't look the way that it should or the way that we thought. But really, our dreams are bigger than that, are bigger than what we can even think of. Like sometimes we get seeds, sometimes we get memories, sometimes we get little thoughts and ideas and literal dreams of things that we feel are for us. You know, I've had many a meditation where I just have these downloads of information and full picture of me, you know, running retreats and doing all these things. But, you know, for me, I held up for that for a long time. Like, that's what I want, that's what I'm going to be. But I couldn't allow myself to get to A to B. I couldn't allow the journey because I could just see this one destination. And realistically, do I know if that's the exact thing? Is that just my soul giving me the potential, the possibility from where my mind can perceive at that moment? Is there something that's actually beyond that I'm already restraining myself from and restricting by fixating on that belief? Okay, so I saw this came up for me the other day, where I had someone who came to me for a potential session package. They wanted to work with me, and what happened was all the things that they was explaining was just mirroring back this journey that I have been on, where constantly doing things to survive, to get to the next step. But what actually happens, you start to navigate yourself, and you're going this way, that way, and it's zigzag to where you really want to go. And you don't even really get to where you want to go, because before you know it, you've become ill, you've become burnt out. This is what happened with this person. They were frazzled. And all their decisions were made out of that survival need, not truly believing that they were actually going to get the things that they desired. And I think that this is a message for everyone, and this is why I want to talk about this, because I have been able to shift my reality from this. And this doesn't mean I shift my reality to then having the retreat that I want, right? This is the misconception that we see on the online space, which I think is why so many people feel so disheartened with manifestation, feel so disheartened by all these leaders and guides out there that are telling them that they're going to quantum leap into this and do this, and they need to just manifest this. The truth of it is, it isn't about trying to create the things that you can imagine that you want. It's about feeling that possibility of those things, and then saying, okay, and I'm open for that and better. I'm open to the possibilities of what the universe, what creation, what life force wants to create through me. I am opening my vessel to allow that life force to move and express through me. When we allow the life force within us to move us through each phase of our lives, we feel more full of energy. When we're trying to push and pull from the mind, we are then creating stagnation. We are stopping ourselves from truly opening up to the spaces and the places that we need to go. And that's why then we start to feel depleted. That's why we then get burnt out, because we're putting energy into things that weren't really meant to be there in the first place. Or maybe we're trying to put too much energy into something and not just letting it unfold naturally, right? Taking its time, letting the right things come in at the right place, the right people, the right things, whatever it is. That is where the magic happens. That's where we start to feel more fulfilled, even in those mundane things, okay? The mundanity of everyday life starts to feel more energetically alive, starts to feel more exciting and joyful, because you're open to what can happen in the next moment to moment. Not thinking so much and putting all your energy into this future that hasn't happened yet. You're then bringing that energy and allowing it to pour into that present moment. You're getting excited about the things that are already happening, instead of fearing and trying to and wasting time in the meantime doing things that are not serving you, that are exhausting you, overworking. Pushing your boundaries and your well-being will always humbly bring you back to remembering the truth. And the truth is that these systems out there, they condition people into living through burnout, and that we have to live like this, that we have to get these pensions, and so we need to make all this certain money by this certain time, and so that we might have to do other things that we don't want to do to make that happen. And that's not necessarily true. That's a narrative that we can buy into. It's a program that we can sign up to, right? Or we can choose the option to live more fully and present. Look at these people in these blue zones, right? Have you heard of blue zone? That's like people who live long lives. If you listen to these people who talk, they live from joy, they live from pleasure. They do things that fill them up every single day. That's really the key ingredient. It's not what they eat. It's not even really what they do or how they do it. It's about how they feel when they're doing it. It's how they feel when they wake up. It's how they feel about their day and their experience in their life from day to day. They didn't need to biohack their way through anything. So my friend, if you've been asking, what if this doesn't work? I want you to change that to what if it does? What is possible beyond today? What if I wake up and open my eyes and I think, wow, what's possible today? Changing the setting, the tone of your experience through the possibility. Okay, so let's try this exercise, and you can close your eyes for this, or you can maybe write it down if you are someone who needs to write things down to experience it, or make a little voice note to yourself, whatever it is. We're going to imagine, however that lands for you, that there is a fork in the road. There's two paths. And when you're standing right now, there is something in your life that you are trying to direct yourself. Perhaps it's a dream that you have, a relationship, a business adventure, a creative project, a life path decision, a relocation, whatever it is. And you've been thinking maybe more on the fear spectrum. I want you to actually imagine that road for a second. Imagine the road that leads down there. If you made the decisions based off of that fear that you have, what does that look like? Just go down there for a minute. And you can pause the video if you want to spend a bit longer on each part of this. But just take yourself down there. What does it look like? What are you doing? What are a few extra steps you didn't know you were going to have to take? A few people that may be a bit more challenging and difficult than you expected. What's down that road? And now, let's wrap that up unless you need more time. We're going to go back, and I want you to think now of that possibility. What if you went down the road of just the unknown? You went to that location that was your dream location to live. You bought that house that you've been dreaming of. Hey, you sold everything. You got a van. You just hit the road. You found that dream partnership that you've been longing for. Took that risk on that person that you've been connecting with. Quit that job that you didn't like and started your own business. Jumped on board on that course and started studying. Whatever it is, just see yourself going down there. What does it look like? Who are the people you're meeting? What are the things that you're saying to yourself? The experiences that you're having? What rewards and glorious things can you experience when you follow that passion? Again, you can pause this video, spend some more time there, or feel free to come back. I do recommend journaling this down and writing about that. Can you see how it feels in your body as well, whether you're writing or you're just imagining? You know, you get a sense of how that feels, right? And maybe that first path, all that anxiety, all that clenching, the contraction in the body, and that's what we're living through day by day with that energy. And that's how our body's responding to life when we're doing that, right? And vice versa. When we're living through excitement, when we're getting up every day and thinking, wow, what's going to happen today? Like who could come around the corner today? What possibilities and experiences am I going to have when I make those choices? Do you see what a different the energy of your body probably feels lighter, your joints feel more free and mobile. Maybe your mind feels more expanded and open and creative. These are elements that are revealing to us how we're feeling day to day by the choices that we make. And that feeling is what creates our reality. That thought is felt and is experienced in the body, and then we live by it. So do you want to keep living by the fear, or do you want to jump into the joy and excitement of your life? So my dears, it is time to stop living like your dreams are just in some far distant future. Start bringing in that excitement into you. And most importantly, it's your heart. It's your heart that is really guiding, your soul sits in your heart. But yet we can sometimes tune out the sound of the soul, the wisdom of what our soul's desires are really calling forth through this fear, through the panic. So I have actually created something called the Voice of the Heart Somatic Journey, which guides you into the inner standing of what is happening in your field and fine tune the dialect, the communication style of your heart, so you can determine when the fear is what's speaking and when the heart-led, soul-led vision of your truth is speaking, and how to tune into that. So every time you can use this practice, so every time you start to feel like something is coming up, some big life decision is experiencing in your life, you can use this to guide the way. And I really hope that is going to be helpful for you. So that is below, but otherwise I will see you in the next video.